It's safe to say that Lisa Rinna is well-versed in the inner workings of television shows. Beginning in 1992 and continuing until 1995, she played the role of Billie Reed on the daytime soap opera Days of Our Lives. In 2021, she had her most recent cameo on the Peacock spin-off Beyond Salem, which was her most recent comeback to the serial opera on which she had previously appeared. The actress appeared in a wide variety of additional parts on a number of other shows, one of which was Melrose Place. She began appearing on the Bravo show The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in the year 2014. Prior to her sudden departure from the reality show in 2023, she had appeared on it for a total of 8 seasons. From the beginning of 2026, viewers will be able to watch her compete on the 4th season of Peacock's The Traitors reality program. Another truth bomb on the reality television show was delivered by Lisa Rinna, which came several months after she referred to the Bravo show as a sinking ship. On a reality show, Lisa Rinna reveals the process by which producers select the storylines. An additional step forward in Lisa Rinna's professional life was taken earlier this year when she and her husband, the actor Harry Hamlin, launched a podcast together. On the podcast, titled Don't Talk About the Husband, she frequently discusses her time spent on the American television show Bravo. This actress shared some juicy behind-the-scenes information about what it was like to film Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Lisa Rinna claims that the ensemble is completely unaware of how the storylines will develop throughout the course of the show. She divulged that prior to the beginning of the season, the producers conduct separate interviews with each member of the cast in order to get a sense of which storylines they would prioritize. Just before you begin filming, the producers will visit your home to discuss the project. The first thing that they do is sit down with you at the beginning of the season and question you about where you are in your life. They want to know what is going on with your children, your job, or anything else that is going on. In addition to this, she disclosed that the presence of a cast member at a party or restaurant is not natural. It is decided that they want this individual to arrive first. A significant number of instances, there was waiting in the automobile. Then they come out to your car, they mic you in your car, they have to put a mic on your back. And then they wait for anything to happen, she divulged. What they do is they wait for something to happen. Her reasons for feeling sorry for the RHOBH editors Harry Hamlin made a brief appearance on the podcast at one point, during which he discussed the amount of material that the show films in comparison to what fans see on television. According to the actor who plays the role of L.A. Law, the amount of film that is actually run through those cameras in comparison to the amount that shows up on the TV screen. The editors go through hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage to find 42 minutes of film. Upon receiving the message, Lisa Rinna responded by expressing her sympathy for the editors. It breaks my heart to think of those editors. They literally have somebody in a back room. So let's say we're filming at someone's house. They would take a little back room and set up a monitor, and there's somebody there writing down everything everyone is saying in a scene, she added. In other words, they have somebody watching everything that is going on in the scene. For the sake of keeping track of the tale and determining where it is headed, the reality TV veteran explained that this is done. Watch the complete episode of the podcast down below. In the comments section, please let us know if you are surprised by the admissions that she made behind the scenes of RHOBH. The sun glazed itself over Beverly Hills like a filtered Instagram story. Too bright, too perfect, and too fake for anyone who actually lived there. But the fake had never scared Lisa Rinna. She built an empire on lips, wigs, hustle, and shade. And right now, walking into the Bravo Summit, a celebration of sisterhood, the fakest title ever slapped onto a banner. She felt the familiar crackle of chaos brewing around her. Lisa lived for that crackle. She strutted into the hotel ballroom in a tailored black suit with shoulder pads sharp enough to slice through tension. Her hair was slicked back. Her sunglasses were unnecessarily large. She looked like she was arriving to personally fire someone, and maybe she was. The other housewives, from across franchises, whispered the way schoolgirls whisper when the queen bee arrives unexpectedly at lunch. "Is that Rinna? Oh God, what's she doing here? She didn't RSVP. Of course she didn't RSVP. RSVPing was for people who cared whether they were welcome." Bravo executives lined the front of the stage, hands clasped nervously. Andy Cohen stood at the podium, smiling the tight smile of someone who knew a nuclear event was incoming but hoped it might land a few feet to the left. "Lisa," Andy said, walking toward her with open arms, "you made it." She pulled off her sunglasses. "Oh, I made it, baby." She leaned in. "You might want to keep that mic handy." A shiver went through the room. The housewives took their seats, but Lisa Rinna walked straight up the center aisle and sat in the empty front row chair meant for special guest TBD. If Bravo hadn't planned for her, she would simply become the plan. The program began with the usual corporate fluff, clips of dramatic moments, inspirational quotes about empowerment that no one in that room actually followed. Then the panel cue and started. Kyle Richards raised her hand first, because Kyle always raised her hand first. She asked something soft and sweet about sisterhood and emotional growth, and Andy answered with the usual polished PR wisdom. Then Andy scanned the crowd. "Any other questions? Comments?" Rinna stood. It was like a gust of wind hit the ballroom. Hair extensions fluttered in fear. "Yes, Lisa?" Andy said, his smile tightening another millimeter. "I have something to say," she announced. A few gasps. Several camera phones rose like periscopes. Erika Jayne smirked because she loved a disaster she didn't have to pay for. Lisa stepped into the aisle. "You know, I've been watching. From the sidelines, from my couch, from my Instagram stories, and honey," she paused dramatically. "There's a conversation we haven't had." Andy swallowed. "Which conversation?" "The truth," she said. Dead silence. Housewives leaned forward so hard it looked like synchronized nosiness. Lisa Rinna walked, glided toward the stage. "For years, I held things back, protected people, played along with narratives I knew weren't the full picture. But today, I'm feeling generous. I'm feeling free." "Oh boy," Kyle whispered to Sutton. "This is bad." Sutton crossed herself. Rinna turned to the audience, hands on her hips like a general about to declare war. "Here's the thing. Bravo doesn't tell the housewives the truth about what's actually happening behind the scenes. They don't tell us who they protect, who they push, who they're setting up for a fall." The executives' faces went white. Andy tried to intervene. "Lisa, maybe we should." "Andy," she said gently, "I love you, but don't interrupt me right now." He backed up slowly. Lisa continued, voice rising. "These women sell their lives, their marriages, their tears for the network. And what do they get? Selective editing and a good luck next season, sweetheart. That's not the truth. The truth is," she took a breath, everyone held theirs. "The truth is, they don't want us to know which stories they manipulate, or whose reputations they protect, or which scandals mysteriously go missing." Gasps rippled like a rogue wave. "They don't want us to know about the focus groups, the research, the manufactured feuds. They don't want us to know which housewife they decide to make the villain every year, long before the cameras roll." Now even housewives from other franchises were gripping their chairs. "But today," Rinna said, "I'm blowing it wide open." She walked onto the stage, picked up the mic, and turned to the audience with a smile that said, "I warned you. You want a truth bomb?" she asked. "Here it is. Reality TV isn't reality. It's chess. And for years, I played it better than anyone else. But Bravo was playing its own game." A Bravo executive attempted to step forward, but Erika Jayne kicked her foot out, blocking him like a glittering tripwire. "Let her speak," Erika purred. Lisa continued, voice now steady and low. The truth is that certain housewives get protected because they're legacy or fan favorites, or because their family is part of the network's golden circle. Others get set up as villains because executives think it makes better TV. She paused, and guess what? They told me that directly. At the back of the room, a producer actually fainted. Kyle whispered to Dorit, "Are we going to get sued?" Dorit whispered back, "I mean, probably." Rinna lifted the mic high. "I'm not here to drag the network. I'm here to tell the truth, because the truth sets you free, baby." And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that silence benefits everyone except the women who give their lives to this show. She raised her chin. "Bravo, your housewives deserve transparency. They deserve honesty, and they deserve to know when they're being played."